Welcome back to Holy Pastor Doing Stuff, your one-stop shop for learning how to do life the holy way. This time, how to play video games. Now, for many adults older than me, playing video games can be simultaneously the most ridiculous thing and also pretty darn scary. Ridiculous because you may think that video games are just dumb. And scary because, well, after all, have you ever seen a 6-year-old try to play Mario Kart? They're all over the road. They have zero reaction speed. They have no idea what's going on. But video games, they're now so popular that you can actually make millions of dollars playing a video game. Right? They're their own multi-million-dollar industry. And anything that has that much money involved is something I want to be talking about on this YouTube series because it might actually help this channel get going. So we better talk about how to play games the holy way so that all of those kids out there aspiring to be video game professionals when they grow up, you'll know how to make it a holy and faithful career. So, first things first, if you're new to video games, not all video games are the same. That might seem obvious to you, but I feel like I should say it. Some games are pure strategy, and they require real smarts. Others are just all instincts and hand-eye coordination and reaction speed, and some are in between. So you have to choose which type of video games you like to play. And then you have the choice between computer games or console games. Both, technically, officially, are considered video games. Now consoles, if you don't know, they're those things like PlayStation and Xbox. And typically, this isn't true for every game, but typically computer games are a little bit more strategy, and console games are a little bit more like reaction speed and shooting people and stuff. But both have an online feature. You can play with other people online, both with consoles and with computers. Although it's easier to play with other people in person on consoles. Now, some of the more successful computer video games, and by successful I mean my favorite computer games are Civilization, Crusader Kings, and Total War. In all of those video games, you'll actually learn a lot about history and how the world works, as well as, military things, psychology. There's actually a lot of great things to learn, a lot of educational stuff in those computer games. Now nowadays, the most known console games are Call of Duty. That's probably the biggest one. Halo, you might have heard of, it's still pretty big. For some slightly older young adults like me, Call of Duty is a lot like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark used to be. And of course there's Madden and other sports franchise games. Mario Party is my all-time favorite. It's essentially like Monopoly on the screen with a lot of mini games that you can play. A group could play Mario Party for hours without a winner. Now, you might think that's a waste of time. But can it really be a waste of time if you're having a party? I don't think so. Now right now I happen to be playing a Madden NFL game because it's one of the only games I don't feel guilty about if one of my young kids comes down from bed and catches me playing. I really do not want to have that conversation about pretend violence yet. I mean, it's bad enough having to explain to them that football can really mess up someone's someone's brain health. So, anyway, what the frick? What is happening? I mean, that was clearly holding. I don't believe this game. I don't believe this. I'm certain that the computer cheats in this game. Certain of it. Heck! Alright, where was I? Sorry about that. Here's the thing though. Calm down. It's just a game. So the second thing, to keep in mind, well, how do you even do that? Unbelievable. I've just lost. My wife is complaining that I'm being too loud. But I mean, seriously, how do you do that? Now I've lost. You know what, that actually leads to the second thing. The way to play video games, the holy ways, is just by trying things out. Don't be afraid to mess up. Don't be afraid to lose. The point about video games, the point about any game really, isn't that you win. That's not the point. The point isn't that you're good at it. You're not trying to prove anything to anybody. The point is that you have fun. And that you grow as a person, and you have fun with other people too, if you're into that. Some people have fun by yelling at the screen. I have fun by yelling at the screen. That's all good. It's good stress relief. Yelling at a screen, good stress relief. Seriously, try it. Yell into a pillow, even. Try it out. You'll feel better, I promise. And besides, the best way to learn is just by trying new things. Those who know all the tricks of a game, they're the ones who weren't afraid to mess up. Mistakes are kind of like sin, really. If you're so afraid of mistakes that you never make one, then you'll probably never do anything truly good, either. You can scare yourself into just a completely ordinary, dull life. You need to step outside the box a little, and then all sorts of possibilities will open up. Unfold your wings a little bit. Just let them unfold. If you do make a mistake, ask God for forgiveness, and He'll forgive you. So just go for it, And plus, the more video games you play, the more likely you will be to be the cool parent, or the cool grandparent, or the cool uncle or aunt or whatever. What? What the butt? My players, they're not even satisfied with losing. They have to make me lose terribly, and it's obviously all their fault because I'm the best at this. Oh well. Well, one thing is, I know many people will watch this video and say that video games are no good because they suck their life right out of you and they don't serve any purpose. Well, first of all, as I said earlier, you can actually learn a lot from video games. You can learn a lot about yourself as well. But it is true that video games can be extremely addicting. And it's not just a problem with video games. Anything in life really can be addicting. But with video games, you might say you just want to get to the next level and then you'll stop, then you'll be done, but then you get to the next level and it looks really cool. You'll just check it out for a bit, you'll explore just for a little bit, and then 3 hours later you're still at it. And after a while, sometimes with video games, you can justify yourself. You don't really need 8 hours of sleep every night, so you can play a few more hours of video games. You don't really need to go to work every day, so you can just take the day off and play video games. You don't really need to hang out with friends or see anybody in life, so you can just play video games. Besides, you're playing with your friends online already. If you're not playing with your friends online in video game, then they're not your friends. Right? So look, I believe video games are awesome. They're a lot of fun. God wants you to have fun. Think of the Sabbath. God didn't create man for the Sabbath. God created the Sabbath for man. It's because rest is good. Video games can certainly help with that. Again, seriously, play some video games, and I will bet that you feel the scales of anxiety and stress just fall right off of you, especially if you're not trying to win, And you don't need much energy to play a video game, so they're certainly restful. At the same time, though, the Sabbath is also meant for us to spend time with God and to learn about God and all of that good stuff. So if you're going to play video games, I suggest that you set boundaries. Set an alarm clock, maybe. I just said alarm plop. Clop. Alarm clock. Set up an alarm clock. And then have it go off when you're ready to be done. And make sure that when that alarm clock goes off, you are indeed done. And then you can move on to something else with your day where you can learn about yourself a little bit more, learn about God, or whatever. But just like any other possible addiction in life, you don't want video games to rule your life. Alright, so that's how you play video games the holy way. Just pick a type of game that suits you. Try some stuff out. Don't care about how bad you do. Just have fun. Learn about yourself. And use them for rest and enjoyment rather than letting games use you. So Holy Pastor is now going to be off to his second job, learning how to cheat in Madden. And it's okay if I'm cheating, because it's just a video game. Until next time, keep it holy, friends.